All right, we've made it to the second half of the year. We've made it to the third quarter of Historathon. I hope you all are having a successful one. As per usual, as I've mentioned when I started participating this year, again, I generally crash out of readathons pretty early. I find it quite tough just because life gets overwhelming and I have so much to do, and sticking to something that I have to read has always been tough. I usually end up going like, oh, whatever I feel like reading, I'm gonna read that right now. And I jump around a lot. My TBR just endlessly grows instead of, shrinking, because I just go on, my Libby app, scroll through that. I go to yard sales. I pick up a stack of books for so cheap because I go, I want to read all of those, and I just grab them, library book sale, that kind of thing. So the TBR just grows and it shifts, and then I don't want to read stuff that I said I was going to read. So this is challenging for me, but I have books to read for the various time periods that I want to get to. So I have been making the effort to use that as motivation to get through it and to focus on my history reading this year. So I made it through the first two quarters. I was successful, and I'm really excited, and I'm really hoping I can get through the rest of this. I will feel so accomplished at the end of this year if I finish my year-long mammoth history of politics, and then also my single book for each quarter. Believe me, like, I know that's not a lot, but for me it is a huge accomplishment. And just like the previous periods, my quarter three book is a small one because I am trying to keep it easily digestible, but also this is just how it happened. Now, I did have to just go look at the Discord server to make sure that my dates are right for what we're covering. It's 1500 to 1820 because I'm real on top of it, y'all. I know dates, I know what we're doing. I have complete sense of what's going on in the world around me. I'm real with it. But yeah, I'm a bit chaotic, and life is chaotic. So I'm just a mess right now. But I did thank you for the Discord server for confirming that it is 1500 to 1820, and that my book, I knew it fit this because it's 1708, but I wasn't sure, again, the exact dates, start and end, so I confirmed that. But yes, this is the book that we're reading for quarter three, and it is very me. Again, it is, I think we're just leaning into the fact that I've been trying to read more American history. Atlantic history has become a real interest of mine and is probably going to move forward, but I gravitate back towards Scotland, British history all the time. It is the thing I love. I love Scotland so much. So this one is Playing the Scottish Card, the Franco-Jacobite Invasion of 1708. I bought this off of eBay probably a couple of years ago. Yeah, I think it was a couple years ago, because one of my favorite novels of all time is The Winter Sea, which I know I've talked about before. It's Susanna Kearsley, and I love her so much. The Winter Sea is probably my favorite book by her. Yeah, I think that one's my favorite book by her. I just love it so much. And it's one of the reasons that like Scotland became such a love for me, as I read it many years ago for the first time and just loved the book. And I reread it a couple of years ago. I found a copy and reread it. That copy actually was quite water damaged, so I tossed it once I finished reading it because it was actually really bad. So I don't have it to show you, but I'll do a screenshot of The Winter Sea. If you have not read it and you enjoy like split timelines, there's the modern period, and then they go back to this period, 1708, to what was going on the northeast coast of Scotland at this time, kind of preparing for this invasion. So it's a really great book. I love it. And I was reading her author's note because she usually says how she got her idea for the book that you're currently reading, what she read. Every time I read her note, and I'm like, I need to read the books that she sourced her story from, that she got her idea from. And this is the one that she said in her author note that she had picked up and read this and got her idea for that book. So I was like, well, I got to go grab a copy of this. And I bought it straight off of eBay and then tried to start it and then stopped. And then I tried again last year to read this and I didn't get through it. I actually took it on my trip, my vacation, and I made it to page 4. So I started it probably on like a bus ride or waiting in the airport, something like that. I started the first few pages, and just typical me, if I'm traveling or if I'm distracted, it is real hard for me to focus on my history books. So this is a great time. I've got 3 months to prioritize this one. 3 months. I can do it. I can read this. But I have all this time to prioritize it, and I'm gonna do it. So I'm really excited about this. I've actually been looking forward to this for a while and kept thinking like, I just wanna go ahead and start getting into it. But I wanted to finish the books I was reading for the previous time periods, make sure I got through those and reached that goal before I jumped into this. And I've got the whole 3 months. Come on, you've got 3 months. You can do it. You can do it. See, I'm trying to motivate myself to read instead of getting distracted by either my phone or, the stress of whatever's going on in the world. So sorry. Yeah, I just want to sit here and read my books and not be bothered by the crazy stuff and the stuff that doesn't need to deal. I just don't want to deal with. So anyway, sorry about that. Just like I said, a bit chaotic right now in life. But let me just read you the back of the book so you get an idea of what it's about. So Playing the Scottish Card, The Franco-Jacobite Invasion of 1708 is John Gibson's fascinating tale, takes us from the initial clandestine meetings of the conspirators to the ambiguous retreat of the French forces after their unsuccessful attempt to land on the Scottish shore. Using new material from French archives, John Gibson's account brings to life the people and the events of an incident which could have changed the whole course of British history. So, for fans of the Jacobite cause or people who have an interest in the Jacobite cause, I think this would be really interesting because before I'd read her book, I didn't know how many attempts there were to invade and attempts there were to take back Scotland. And this is, early on attempt. So I actually can't even remember much from the Winter Sea about what happens because my brain does not hold that information very easily. So I actually probably could just read the Winter Sea. If I get through this, maybe I'll reread the Winter Sea, even though I just did it. So I'm going into this again with, I'm telling y'all, a brain. I'm going into this with almost no remembrance of the cast of characters for this attempt, what exactly happened. So it'll be fun to revisit it. I've taken my bookmark out because I'm going to start right here at page 1, or right here there's a little preface, so I can start there all over again and dig into this that I said I was going to start multiple times. I mean, that's very typical of me. So actually, is that typical of you all? Do you start books and then have to set them aside? And even though you really want to read them and it takes a while to get back to them, I'd be curious to know. But yeah, I will quit rambling on and having my chaos moments. And I'm going to go get started on this book. I'm really excited about it. I hope you have some wonderful books. I'm looking forward to watching everybody's pile of possibilities and what you're going to get up to. And of course, being envious of those pile of possibilities, adding them all to my TBR for some future date that I don't know when I'll get to read them. But hey, that's the fun of BookTube. That's the fun of Historathon. So I hope you're all having a great time and enjoying this new time period. And let me know what you're reading in the comments and say hi, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, bye.